Thank you for joining us at Youthology Resources. Every week we bring to you a topic in youth leadership, and I am so excited about our topic tonight. As a matter of fact, we have never dealt with this topic before. This is the first time, and if you followed us, we've covered a lot of topics. As a matter of fact, just recently we talked about how to have effective youth services and what that looks like, presence-based versus program-based youth ministry. We've talked about how to have a footprint on the middle school and the high school campus. We've talked about leadership development at the student level and at the adult level. Okay, I mean, if you look at all the kinds of things that we've dealt with, it's pretty broad. One of the things that we spent several weeks on was the sexual revolution and identity of teenagers, and we spent 2 weeks on wellness and health of the youth leaders. So all kinds of topics that you can find in our archives, but we've never done this one, and I'm so excited about it. So if you would, you can share this with somebody. You can text them or call them and send them the link. It's really easy. All of our social media has our link tree to our YouTube, where you can watch these resources, the link tree to our iTunes, where you can listen to these resources, or the link tree where you can read the blog on our website at youthology.com. So go to our social media, click on the link tree, and it'll take you wherever you want to go. All right? So, hey, the topic this week is so important because it deals with the characteristic trait of teenagers. You know, all the sociological studies that have been done talk about this key trait in Gen Z. There are many of them, but let me give you this one because it's new to our study. It is the trait of cause or humanitarian need. Gen Z is moved by global issues. They want to count, right? Every generation has always dealt with those age-old questions like, who am I? Why am I here? Where did I come from? I want to make a difference. And I really believe that trait is one of the key discipleship tools for teenagers today. That's right. Maybe it's not evangelism. Maybe it's not sharing their faith in schools. Maybe it's not their identity and their relationship with their friends and that whole sexual world and the sexual revolution that's going on. Maybe it's not just their family. We've dealt with the family and finding their place with their mom and dad. All those things are important. Those are critical, formative things in a teenager's life. But one of the things that we are missing is this humanitarian and causal trait in teenagers. So we're going to talk about that. Let me begin by giving you a resource. Many of you are familiar with Convoy of Hope. Convoy of Hope is a global disaster humanitarian relief agency. But one of their partnerships and one of the ministries underneath Convoy of Hope is called Feed One. Our ministry, Youthology, is a representative for Feed One. When you buy our merch or you buy our book or you give to this ministry, we give monthly to Feed One through all of our resources and a percentage of the income also, because we want to count and we want to matter in the life of one. We know that we're reaching many more than that, and that's why we want to talk to you. You know, I'm sure that you're familiar with the old story about the young teenager who was walking on the beach, and during the tide, hundreds of these starfish had come up on the shore. And as this young boy was walking by, he began to pick them up and throw them into the ocean, right? And one by one, he was getting these starfish and throwing them into the ocean and having a blast doing that, doing his part. And while he was doing that, he bent over and an older man walked up and he threw the starfish in to the ocean, and the old man said, young man, there's no way you're going to throw all of these starfish back into the ocean. And the little boy looked at the young man, right, and he bent over and he picked the starfish up and he threw it into the ocean again. And then he turned to the old man and he said, well, at least it mattered to that one. And he bent over, picked up another one and threw it and kept going as the old man walked away. You know, we may not be able to feed every hungry child in the world, but we can feed one. You know, the name of our organization came from Mother Teresa, who was famously quoted as saying, if you can't feed 100, will you feed one? That's why we have this program. And so I want to challenge you with two simple concepts that I think will help you disciple your students like no other tool can. Okay? Okay, so number one is our students need to know that they matter on a micro level. Okay? Our students matter on a micro level. And then number two, our students need to know that they matter on a macro level. Let me deal with those. I'm going to just spend 2 minutes on each one, and then we're going to close this cast down. So how about the micro level? Helping our students understand that they matter on the micro level. And that's what I mean by this starfish analogy. Our students need to know that one person matters. Our students need to know that one starfish thrown into the ocean, it really matters. It mattered to that one. And I believe that if we can get our students to see that the reason they exist, why are they here? The reason they exist is to minister to one person. Now, some of our kids feel comfortable with that. They're not the platform kid. They don't have the global dream or whatever. And they're willing to do that. We need to allow students to understand that their small gift, maybe it's not an upfront gift. It's not like, a macro gift. Maybe it's a micro gift. Maybe it's an important gift to them and nobody else even recognizes it. It's like the hand, the eye. It's like the toe, right? It's the parts, as Paul said, that are seemingly useless or not important. Listen, if we could get our students to see that every day and every person matters, I believe that discipleship would take place because of that kind of a mission. Not missions, but mission. The micro level of discipleship. Okay? So, feed one. Okay, all right? Let me hit the second area. And that is the opposite of this. Have you ever had a student who really had this huge dream and they wanted to reach the world, or they had this stadium dream, right? You ever had a student who said, I had this dream and I was preaching on a platform in front of thousands of people, right? I've seen that in students. I've seen the twinkle in their eye when they get involved and they really want to do something big. Well, that's the second point of discipleship with the humanitarian and the causal need, and that's macro, okay? Macro. The first one, micro, is being concerned about the one. The macro level of leadership or discipleship is seeing my place in the world, my place globally. How can I make a difference globally? Let me talk about that. One of the things that I think the church has not done very well at is to challenge young people. I think in many settings, the church has treated high school kids like middle school kids and middle school kids like elementary kids. And they come from a school, okay, they come from the public school where so much is expected of them. They come from a public school where they're supposed to be on time and their homework is supposed to be on time. And they have to work in groups and respect each other. And the level of their learning and their knowledge, have you seen their homework, right? So there's this huge expectation on teenagers in the public school setting. And then they come to church and we want to play games with them and we treat them 2-3 years younger than they really are. And I think that this whole macro level of discipleship could really virally change young people by helping them to see a world in need in their place. You've all seen students who have caught the fire to do something on a macro level. Students who've raised hundreds or thousands of dollars for missions, or students who have spent $1,500 or $2,500 to go on a missions trip. And they've raised that money. It's there. It's there. So I want to challenge you to show your students this Feed One program. $10 a month feeds one child for the entire month. $10, $120 a year. You can get onto that website, feedone.com. They can sign up and they can quit anytime they want, because all we really want to do is feed one. And I believe if our students would give at the micro level, that it would increase their vision for the macro level. And can you imagine what would happen if your middle schooler or your high schooler caught a vision for Feed One? What kind of a person are they going to be when they graduate college and they attend our churches and they lead our churches as pastors or missionaries, or they come to our churches and they're deacons or elders or worship leaders or Sunday school teachers or small group leaders? What kind of people are we going to have? That's called the sustainability of the church. When somebody gives at the micro level, then it produces in them at the macro level, because I believe one of the characteristic traits of the kingdom is giving, is humanitarian cause needs. You can't be Christian without giving. Christian is defined by giving. So thank you for listening to us. I know this has been a different podcast. I hope that it touches your heart. I've prayed for this. I'm asking for 100 students, leaders, to give toward Feed One. It's really simple. You don't have to give to our organization. If you wanted to do that, I'd funnel that through, but that's really not the best way to do it. I know we have people that give to us each month, but if you buy our merch, we give all of that to Feed One. But all you have to do is go to feedone.com. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen right there. Okay, right over there. Feedone.com, and you can sign up right there. And we don't even have to know. You'll sign up, and you'll be blessed, because you're teaching your students to give at the micro and the macro level. Okay? So, hey, thank you. God bless you for joining us every single week. We bring to you a topic on youth leadership, and it's been no different this week. Brand new topic on giving and humanitarian needs and using those kind of tools to disciple young people. All right, so hey, have a great week. Thanks again for joining us, and I will see you. I will hear from you. You can read all of this stuff every single week. Go to Linktree/Jeff Grinnell. Linktree/Jeff Grinnell. Find it on our all of our social media, and you can watch, read, or listen to our resources every single week. God bless you. Have a great week. Check this. I love this beat. See ya.